Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights. And welcome back as we continue to showcase what took place at the CPRA meeting in Terrebonne Parish. Now, we have a core report, and also we have comments from the public. Mr. Alex Osheimer, who's been around for a while and taking care of certain aspects of Terrebonne Parish. But let's go now to the core report and listen in on what they had to say at the meeting.
Mr. Chairman, one more point, if we could. Reggie and I were just talking about, credit where credit is due. And just speaking on behalf of the three of us, the credit is due to the people of Lafourche and Terrebonne Parish. You saw a lot of matching dollars in local matching dollars in every one of these presentations and all of these projects. And the credit for that goes to the people of Lafourche and Terrebonne Parish who have pretty much exclusively have voted to tax themselves for flood protection. And I just wanted to add that on.
So with that, we have the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Lieutenant Colonel Weander. Did I get that right?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, that was perfect. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen of the board, thank you for this opportunity to speak to you today. Colonel Jones sends his regrets. He's currently training a half a dozen Webelos at Boy Scout camp, but I assure you, a high-quality airborne ranger like himself will have those children whipped into shape in no time and ready to go home. With that, I'd like to give you a brief update on Morganza Golf. As Rich discussed, nearly $500 million worth of federal investment into the region, so very massive investment. With that, Mark Wingate told me, and if I only learned one thing from him, I'd be a fool. But the thought that comes to mind today is money at rest is money at risk. So of that $469 million, we have 14 separate structures currently being designed. 6 of those are funded for construction, so looking to deliver a massive program on behalf of the local area. Great news, Reach A, we have reviewed the bids. We're looking to make an award by the end of next month, so very excited for that and getting that underway to support the local area. With that, we're also currently designing Reach F and look to have that design completed no later than fiscal year 25. So much more risk reduction for the local area. I'm excited to deliver that program. With that, Colonel Jones was very upset he would not be here for this. Reggie, I know he's going to link up with you next week, but just talking with the team at the district, talking on the car ride up here and then listening to the accolades this morning, I think a few things come to mind. I think the one that came to mind for me this week as I prepared for this was the idea of selfless service. I've often heard it said the measure of a man is often proportional to the selfless service they render to others. And as I look back at the last 43 years that Reg has dedicated to his community, to his state, to his region, and the benefits the nation has derived, I just want to say thank you on behalf of Colonel Jones. I know he's very excited to link up with you on Monday, so thank you, sir. With that, I will pause for any questions.
Okay, board, any questions? Wait, yes, sir.
Thank you for being here, Colonel. Just one thing I want to ask is regarding funding. So right now, I think the interim allocations for FY25 for congressional appropriations is around $59 billion for energy and water, of which this year the Corps' request was about $7 billion, so that's about 12%. So when you have a situation where your requests are going up, appropriations are going up through congressionally directed spending, how are y'all balancing the needs of Congress versus the needs of the Corps in that budget process to provide a better return on investment, specifically as it relates to the projects that you all identified that OMB essentially approves versus what Congress is going to come forward and request?
So no, that's a very good question. I'll stay in my lane and answer on behalf of the district. I won't speak for the chief engineer. Because we express capability every year based on what we have ready, what we know we can accomplish in the next fiscal year. Here's the capability that we bring to the federal government that we think we can deliver. And we make that recommendation to Congress based on our best technical advice. Here's what we believe the best use of that funding would be. Decision makers make a decision. We will, of course, certify the next year. If that answers your questions.
Yeah, definitely. And I just wanted to ask that because I think your comment was on point with money at rest is money at risk. You know, the Corps invests a lot of dollars in studying these projects, but as they get through the study phase, the next portion is construction funding. And so, you know, as you're more constrained from OMB or from congressional appropriations, just highly encourage you all to consider that you already have investment in a lot of these projects. And so construction is desperately needed in a lot of things that we have going on down here.
Mr. Alford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd just like to Lacey, thank you guys, thank the Corps, thank the Colonel for moving so fast. I know you guys really worked hard for Reach A. We're excited that y'all are fixing to break ground, and it's going to be a great thing, and hopefully it'll get the ball rolling for the other parts down the road, right? So we're excited. Thank you for your hard work, and the Colonel, thank you as well. Thank you, Colonel.
And on behalf of the CPRA and of course myself as from Terrebonne Parish, you know, I want to thank the Corps. You know, we finally getting federal monies in. We're approaching $500 million, and you know, for a long time we've been waiting for the cavalry to come in, and so it's definitely coming. Meanwhile, a levee system was built with protection, 14 floodgates. The levee system 15 feet to 12 feet throughout Terrebonne Parish and parts of Lafourche, all of, as Reggie and Dwayne was showing, all the way back up with heading towards La Rose, all the way back to Gibson. And, you know, it's a detriment of everyone here, the engineers, the people, and of course the Corps. You know, the Corps has been working with us on the permitting. They're really putting out permits quick, and you know, we approached them about trying to speed up and work Grand out, trying to do segmented breakwater rocks, because after Ida, they really took a hard beating, and they're working with us. And I thank Lieutenant Colonel and Colonel Jones and Ms. Shaw. We thank y'all because you're really working well with the CPRA, and we look forward to the future working with y'all, with the Corps of Engineers and the federal government. Thank y'all very much for what y'all do.
Thank you, sir.
All right, more to come. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough. And welcome back as we continue to cover the CPRA meeting. Let's listen in as some of the reports morphed into comments from the general public.
I wanted to thank everybody. You do a great job, and it's good that we have such dedicated people, particularly the man handling the meeting. But I assume that all of this is being done so that we can stay here.
Definitely.
That's what it's all about. Not to get a roosting area for the pelicans, not to have an island that was named after your great-grandpa or something or other washed away. So the good people of Louisiana with the delicious food and awesome environment can stay living here. Now, there's another group that wants to talk about the water rising and the land sinking and all of that. And we have local groups that are trying to get companies to come build here. That's a 40-year depreciation schedule. Now, we need, and I'm not telling you what to do, but we need to be able to tell somebody who wants to build here, who we want to build here, to how our children and grandchildren to work. We need to say, the experts say with the projects that are in progress and planned by all of y'all, and we got tons of them, and you're doing a wonderful job, that you can stay here 143 years. And you see, that's total devoid from this. None of you brought up, this is going to mean we can stay here longer. Now, I remember Gordy, when Ida was coming, said you don't have to evacuate at 12 feet. And then for a couple of hours, they said it's going to be 15. He said, and almost had to change his mind. And then it went back down. But that matters. And if the reason for the billions of dollars that we're spending is not people, I don't think you'd have much support to do it. I know we got a lot of wacko environmentalists in this country, but I still don't think you would get the support to do it. And everybody knows that I'm involved in one of the alignments for the Morganza to the Gulf and not too happy with it. And won't be. But one of these environmentalist groups that I'm aware of, I read their comments, and their comments was, don't put the levee on our property. If you're part of Terrebonne, a realistic location of that levee is dependent on that. We cannot let ourselves reach the point where we have to leave and turn it over to a bunch of environmentalists to supervise it until it's gone completely. And I'm not saying we're not doing gracious. The levee we got is good, but we need to close the gap and blah, 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 blah. But the point is, all I'm asking you to do is maybe get something into your meeting somewhere where there's a report that says, with the current plans and all, we should be able to inhabit this parish, including the bayous that are currently enclosed with the Morganza to the Gulf system, for another 143 years or something like that. And we have our own example. We neglected to apply flood protection to that industrial area on the east side of town until Jemico moved up the bayou, everybody else moved up the bayou. Now it's straight where they don't flood, and you got shipyards coming back and stuff coming back. So we have an example of what we have to do. And I think we're doing it. Anyway, I'm not fussing, I'm just asking you to try to make sure everybody in Washington, because the problem's not in here, the problem's in Washington. They almost had that Morganza connection where you could see it from the back of the existing levee. And then they decided to change the route. All I'm asking you to do is make sure that Washington understands that we're not a bunch of wacko environmentalists. We want to stay here. And people is what's important. And thank you very much, and I'll shut up now. My wife always says I talk too long.
Thank you, Mr. Alstom, and thanks for working with the levee board. Thank you very much, and with that, we have a motion to adjourn. Mr. Bourgeois, we have a unanimous second. Unanimous second. This meeting is adjourned, and thank everyone for coming, and very informative meeting, and thank y'all. We'll see y'all in 30 days.
And there you have it. Our look at the CPRA meetings. We'll keep you posted. It's a big organization, a big panel trying to get the coastline protected in Louisiana. We'll take a break. We'll have more on HTV.
Selecting an insurance provider for your business is a big decision.
With over 26 years of experience, our offered team is your solution for quality and proven coverage.
The customer service you remember from years ago is what we pride our team on.
We know how important your company is to the community.
From small businesses to large businesses, Alford & Associates can manage your insurance. It's our job.
Alford & Associates, benefiting your employees and protecting your business.